betrayed him and changed the destiny of a nation forever. This is the untold story of Siraj-ud-Daulah, the last Nawab of Bengal, a young ruler who dared to stand against one of the most powerful forces in the world, the British East India Company. He was brave, proud, and determined to protect his land. But little did he know, his greatest enemy was not outside his kingdom. It was inside his own palace. Welcome to Real Legends TV, where we bring you real stories of kings, heroes, and forgotten legends. Let's begin the story of Siraj-ud-Daulah, the last Nawab whose fall opened the gates for British rule in India. The rise of a young Nawab in the early 18th century, Bengal was known as the richest province of India. Its fields were full of crops. Its rivers carried ships loaded with silk, muslin, and spices. And its people lived under the rule of the Nawabs, governors of the Mughal Empire. Siraj-ud-Daulah was born in 1733 in the city of Murshidabad, the capital of Bengal. He was the grandson of Ali Khan, a powerful Nawab of Bengal who loved him dearly. From a young age, Siraj showed signs of leadership. He was intelligent, brave, and had a sharp sense of justice. His grandfather saw in him the next ruler of Bengal, but not everyone was happy with that decision. There were powerful men in the court, greedy nobles and relatives who wanted the throne for themselves. Among them was Mir Jafar, one of the army commanders who secretly dreamed of becoming Nawab. When Ali Khan died in 1756, Siraj-ud-Daulah became the Nawab at just 23 years old. Young, fearless, and full of energy, but surrounded by enemies disguised as friends. The growing British threat at that time, India was not ruled by one power. The British East India Company, a trading organization from England, was slowly turning from merchants into rulers. They had their own soldiers, forts, and weapons. They didn't just trade, they controlled. Siraj soon realized the danger. He saw that the British were fortifying their trading posts in Calcutta, Kolkata, and building new defenses without permission. He sent a warning: stop building forts or face the consequences. But the British ignored him. So Siraj marched his army towards Calcutta. He attacked the British settlement and captured Fort William. For the first time, an Indian ruler had dared to defeat the British militarily. The British fled, humiliated and shocked. But this victory made the East India Company furious. They planned revenge. The conspiracy: as the British regrouped, they found their biggest weapon, not in cannons or guns, but in betrayal. They secretly contacted Mir Jafar, Siraj's commander, and promised him the Nawab's throne if he helped them win. Mir Jafar agreed. He wasn't alone. Other wealthy bankers and traders in Bengal, like Jagat Seth, feared Siraj's power and joined the plot. The British promised them riches and protection. While Siraj prepared for war, his enemies smiled in his court, pretending to be loyal. They waited for the right time to strike. The Battle of Plassey, it was June 23, 1757, the day that would change India forever. Siraj-ud-Daulah led an army of around 50,000 soldiers to the field of Plassey, near the Bhagirathi River. Robert Clive led a much smaller British force, only 3,000 men, but he had something far stronger: Mir Jafar's betrayal. As the battle began, thunder roared and rain poured. Siraj's cannons fired heavily. The British were struggling. Victory seemed near, but suddenly, silence. Mir Jafar and most of the Bengal army stopped fighting. They just stood and watched. Siraj's loyal troops, like Mir Madden and Mohammed Day, fought bravely till their last breath, but they were outnumbered. In just a few hours, the fate of Bengal was sealed. The British won, not by courage, but by treachery. The fall of a Nawab. After the defeat, Siraj tried to flee from Murshidabad, disguised as a common man. He wanted to regroup his forces and reclaim his throne. But luck had left his side. Mir Jafar, was crowned the new Nawab of Bengal by the British. Soon after, Siraj was captured by soldiers loyal to Mir Jafar, and on July 2, 1757, at the young age of 24, Siraj-ud-Daulah was murdered. His body was quietly buried. No royal funeral, no last honor. A brave ruler's life ended because of greed and betrayal. The aftermath. The Battle of Plassey was not just the fall of one king. It was the beginning of British rule in India. With Bengal under their control, the East India Company gained the wealth to expand across India. They slowly captured power, one kingdom after another. Historians say, if Siraj-ud-Daulah had not been betrayed, India's history might have been very different. His story teaches us that a nation falls not when attacked from outside, but when it is divided from within. The legacy today, more than 260 years later, Siraj-ud-Daulah's name is still remembered. In Bengal, his courage is celebrated in poems, plays, and folk songs. He is seen as one of the first freedom fighters, a man who dared to resist colonial power. Even though he lost the battle, his spirit of resistance inspired future generations, from Tipu Sultan to Bahadur Shah Zafar, and many others who continued the fight for India's freedom. He was betrayed by his own people, but his story became a lesson for every generation. This was Siraj-ud-Daulah, the young Nawab who fought for honor, freedom, and dignity. If you believe his story deserves to be remembered, like, share, and subscribe to Real Legends TV for more true stories of kings, heroes, and forgotten warriors.